Bookworms, welcome to the Weekend Readers Book Club. Thank you for joining us. In this episode, we are discussing the novel I have just completed, Pay It Forward by Catherine Ryan Hyde. Pay It Forward is a story revolving around a young boy, Trevor, who has a school assignment, and that assignment is think of an idea for world change and put it into action. What follows in this story is Trevor implementing his idea and having mixed results. However, unbeknownst to him, his idea has taken off and it is slowly affecting his own state, his own country, and then potentially the world. In this story, you go between a few characters' perspective. Each chapter is somewhat a different character's perspective. You've got Trevor, the young boy who created the idea, his school teacher, his mum, the people that actually he helps, and also a reporter who is trying to trace the story backwards from where he finds it to find out who was the first person to potentially create the scheme, which is Pay It Forward. So I've finished the book, and these are my thoughts about the story Pay It Forward. Okay, so the concept of the book Pay It Forward is quite simple. You select 3 people, you do good deeds for those 3 people, they don't pay you back in any way, their payment to you is to pay it forward. So they have to in turn help 3 people, and then those 3 people will help another 3 people, and another 3 people will help another 3 people. You get the idea. It gets to the point where everybody's doing good deeds for everybody. Now, I finished the book, and I am perplexed by something, and it's got to do a lot, not so much with the book, but with society today. Why this book is not being forced to be read in every school across every nation is beyond me. Because this book is absolutely fantastic. It tackles kindness, the willingness to be unselfish. It tackles racial undertones. It tackles relationship undertones. It tackles somebody's self-belief in themselves, not just our main character Trevor, but all the people that he is helping along the way. Their own self-belief has been affected some way, and that good deed has somewhat changed their life, and then they're passing it on because they're aware that, they wouldn't be in the position that they're in without that person helping them. Like, this book can teach a lot of people stuff that is somewhat missing in today's society. And I don't mean to go completely off topic with the book, but holy crap, if people read this book, the world, I believe, would be a hell of a lot of nicer place than what it is today. With so much division, cancel culture, me culture, racial undertones, gender undertones, sexual undertones. Like, man, grab this book and read it, and maybe everything that in the world that you feel is not part of your own echo chamber and you can't get on board with, maybe you'll be able to pick something up from this book and actually just take a step back and reassess what is important in life. Because holy crap, this book was friggin' amazing. And I'll say it. I'll say it. Before I read the book, I went on to Goodreads just to skim through the reviews to see roughly what, the take of the book was. Majority of it was, it's a good book. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars because I found this book absolutely fantastic. But one of the reviews were, you're going to cry in the story. When you read, you are going to break down. And I thought nothing of this. Reading the book, nah, no tears whatsoever. But holy shit, you get to like the 3rd to last chapter, then some shit happens in this book, and then you know where the story's going, right? You know how the story's gonna end once some stuff goes down in the book, but you're cautious because human nature is human nature, right? And this book has a lot of human aspects written into it. And damn, by the end of the book, I'm gonna say it, I was weeping like nothing, man. Now, I haven't seen the movie. I don't know if the movie is as good as the book or the book is, worse or better than the movie, but this book itself, Pay It Forward by Catherine Ryan Hyde, very powerful, very emotional, very just real world relating of a simple concept that could work in the world but won't work because people are stupid. No, you guys listening are awesome. But, when you look in the world, there are a lot of stupid people. And when I say stupid, I mean selfish. Me. Where this book isn't about me. This book is about helping your fellow man get ahead. I tell you, I loved all the stories, all the characters, including the people that he helps. The stories for those characters were great as well. And the reporter who works it backwards, his story's great as well, because the way in which he uncovers everything and then he assists the family playing out the ending the way it does, hats off. Now, with that being said, as I've already said throughout this episode, this book is absolutely fantastic. I'm going to say, I know I said it last episode, but this book here is one of my favourite books that I've read this year. In fact, it's going into my top 10 books that I've read all time. And I would highly recommend, if you're wanting a good story to read, just a feel-good moment, no action, no drama, just something to make yourself feel good about yourself and about your fellow man, go read Pay It Forward by Catherine Ryan Hyde. So, as it customs here on the Weekend Reader, one book closes, another book has to open. It is now time to find out what the next read for the Weekend Readers Book Club is. And Bookworms, we can confirm that the next read is The Girl in the Red Coat by Kate Hammer. I know nothing about this book. I picked it up and it sounded interesting. I'm going to give it a whirl and see how it gets on. I know nothing about it. I just saw the book there and I was like, oh, I'll give it a whirl. So yeah, Girl in the Red Coat by Kate Hammer. You are the next read for the Weekend Readers Book Club. So Bookworms, that was my review and discussion of the book that I read, Pay It Forward by Catherine Ryan Hyde. A book that I absolutely thoroughly loved. A book that is now in my top 10 reads ever that I've read. I found it myself. I found it very powerful. I found it very uplifting. And I found it very thought-provoking in the sense that there has to be more than life than what we have. And humans, if given the chance, can actually surprise people and become good for their fellow man or woman or fellow human being. So yeah, that's my review of Pay It Forward. I love this book. This book's awesome. So, as always, you can feel free to follow us, Goodreads and Instagram. You'll be able to find us on Weekend Readers Book Club. In addition, YouTube and any podcast provider, you can find our podcast under the name The Weekend Readers. Until next time, thank you again for listening, and Bookworms, happy reading.